Dear fellow Tsinghua alumni and friends across the world, I speak to you today from London, and although physically we are about 5,000 miles away, part of me in spirit has remained very firmly in Tsinghuayuan. I serve the Tsinghua University Schwarzman Scholars graduating class of 2018 as an elected alumni representative. It is part of our role as representatives to stay connected to our different members across the planet. I would like to share with you today how Schwarzman Scholars alumni have been strengthening through this period as a community of global citizens. In these times where many countries are fighting COVID-19 in their domestic context, national narratives are often the starting point for news. This can also be felt in our community. Tsinghua University Schwarzman Scholars has almost 30 different countries in its alumni body in just 3 years of existence, soon to grow to 40 countries when the 4th class graduates from Tsinghua this summer. When we engage with each other, local narratives are often the starting point. These past few weeks, one classmate has revived a tradition that used to be quite successful when we were still at Tsinghua. Every Saturday, we gather, now virtually of course, for one of our alumni to share perspectives on a topic where he or she has expertise in. 2 weeks ago, we heard from an alumni working in the Security Operations Center in San Jose, California. To our surprise, we learned that although this region includes some of the most developed cities in the world, San Jose was facing severe shortages of medical equipment and initial signs of food poverty. Very few of us were expecting this. As we discussed potential solutions, some alumni argued that we should not disrupt efficient allocation of global supply chains, with other alumni arguing that local contexts and severity of need should be taken into account. Another alumni built on this point further and asked the group to think about countries not even represented in the conference call, such as developing countries not in the focus of media attention, but far less equipped to respond to the pandemic. As a group, our learning was that to drive constructive change, we should recognize existing mechanisms, but also be honest when these mechanisms aren't working or are missing the representation of certain local narratives. In our community, comparing local perspectives and challenging each other in this way happens very frequently. These are important discussions because they teach us to step out of our national narratives to see new perspectives we may not have even considered. Secondly, with different national perspectives shared and considered, we can then focus on what ties us together more deeply, the bonds between us as humans. 对我们许多校友而言，最强大的连结就是我们一起游历中国的经历，攀登黄山，探索张家界，驾车穿越青海荒原。我们敞开心扉，共同经历成长，这是如今我们许多人所怀念的。当然，我们也想念清华，想念骑着摩拜单车穿过校园，想念食堂里的清华酸奶和清粉的麻辣香锅，是这些记忆凝聚着我们。Now, a couple years later, in the times of the COVID-19 outbreak, alumni rely on those same human ties to find energy again. 2 of my classmates recently convened a virtual poetry night for us to recollect in a calm moment together. In these times of isolation, it's natural for us all to need support from others. Many different poems were read about hope, sadness, and other feelings our friends were experiencing. One of the poems shared was Derek Mahan's Everything is Going to Be All Right. which I think brings good comfort in these times. This is how it finishes. I lie here in a riot of sunlight, watching the day break, the clouds flying. Everything is going to be all right. Many of us left this poetry session feeling most at peace in many weeks, having connected in a simple way with friends from afar. What this reminded us is that when tensions are alive in the international scene, it's very important to focus on our human ties, making us inhabitants of the same planet that is our home. Lastly, once we recognize those human ties, it becomes easier to work together as a community of global citizens. The current COVID-19 crisis is an illustration of the pressing need for joint action as a global community. But once this crisis is resolved, the need for joint action as global citizens will not lessen. As recent alumni, we and many other graduates around the world will be faced in our lifetimes with major climate change related issues impacting all industries, all sectors, all countries. The effects of global warming, if not mitigated, will have significant consequences on the livelihoods of many populations. That will be the next challenge we will need to face as a global community, the next crisis, and perhaps many other crises after that. It will require solutions and contributions from us all. Many in our community realize this. A point made recently by one of our senior alumni really resonated with me. He shared that whilst nurses and doctors around the world continue fighting for us all on the front lines, day on day, night and night, there will be opportunities to do good in the future in the same way that people are doing good now. Through this statement and others, I'm seeing our alumni pushing each other to stay accountable in future as they grow in different careers and paths to mitigate the impact of crises to come. To finish, we can recall what John Donne rightly wrote: "No man is an island, and we are all involved in mankind." So through this crisis, we can learn to engage beyond national narratives, focus on our human ties, and work together moving forwards as a community of global citizens.